Minecraft 1.21 is right around the corner, and with it comes a ton of brand new blocks, mobs and items. So today we're going to take a look at all of these features and rank them in a tier list so we can answer the question, how good is Minecraft 1.21? So here's our tier list, and down here we've got items to represent all the features that we're going to rank. If you don't know how this works, S tier is for the best features, going all the way down to F tier, which is for the not so great features. But anyway, we're going to start things off with one of the first features that was announced at Minecraft Live last year, the Crafter. I was super excited when this was announced, as not only is this game changing for farms and automation, but it's been added in a way that even redstone beginners can use to make simple contraptions. The crafter is great for turning drops from your farms into the resources you need without you having to do all the crafting, like turning golden nuggets from a gold farm into ingots and blocks for easy storage. I think this is an instant S tier and one of the best features coming in this update. Next, we're going to take a look at all the new copper blocks. As you can see, I've used some in this build for the tier list, and they're a great new addition for building as they go with so many different blocks. It's a little weird that the copper door and trapdoor don't act like the iron variants where they can only be activated with redstone, and with all the new copper blocks I think there should be a way to slightly speed up the aging process. Maybe submerging the blocks in water could decrease the time it takes for them to age. Anyway, I think these blocks belong in the A tier. The copper bulb is our next feature, and not only does this block look really good, it's also another game changer when it comes to redstone, especially here on Bedrock Edition. The copper bulb acts like a T flip-flop, but in just one block. This will definitely help with combating redstone builds, because we no longer have to worry about using droppers and hoppers for T flip-flops. The mechanic of the light getting dimmer the more it's oxidized is really cool, and overall, I think it's going to go in the A tier. Next up, we have the new variants of the tough blocks. Again, I've used some in this build and they go really well with all the copper. They're also a really good transition between the stone and deep slate blocks, and I definitely think I'll be using these in my future builds. I think I'm going to put these blocks in the B tier. So far, we've looked at some really good features, but now we're going to look at one that in my opinion isn't so good. The Breeze Mob is a really cool concept, but I think it could have been executed just a little bit better. This thing has very low health, only taking 2 hits with a Sharpness 5 Netherite sword to kill. The Breeze's attacks are also very weak. I only took 1 heart of damage fighting this thing with no armor in hard mode. I was definitely expecting a tougher fight considering this thing can only be found in trial chambers. I think it would have been even better if it was similar to the Piglin Brute that can only be found in bastions. The Breeze rods that it drops are useful for crafting wind charges in the Mace, but wind charges can be found pretty easily in the vault blocks. So anyway, I think this belongs on the border of C and D tier. Better note, I think the wind charges are really fun to use. I think they have a lot of potential to be used in parkour, and they can even be comboed with the mace to launch into the air and deliver quite a heavy blow. Plus, it's easy to obtain lots of them, and they deal quite a lot of damage to mobs. I think I'll be carrying these around in survival, which is why I'm putting the wind charge in B tier. Now we're going to look at the trial spawner block. This is a really good new version of the old mob spawners with lots of variants for different mobs. It can get pretty challenging when there are multiple in a small area, especially when they spawn strays. This can be made even harder with the ominous trial spawners, adding to the challenge for experienced players with full netherite gear. It's going to go in the A tier. The vault is another new block exclusive to the trial chambers, and I think it's a really cool new way to get loot instead of opening chests like most other structures. The loot table for this block is massive, meaning you can get a ton of different items from it, and the ominous variant allows players to get their hands on even rarer and more valuable items. Overall, I think this is another A tier block. So now that we've looked at some of the features that make up the trial chambers, I think it's time to rank the structure itself. I think it's a really good design with so many different room variations, it gives each one a different layout. I was hoping for a structure that could be seen on the surface of the world, as lately there's been a lot of focus on adding new features underground, and I think it's time to update the surface a bit more. But other than that, they're really fun to explore and loot, and I think I'll be going to a lot of these when the update comes out. I think the trial chambers belong in B tier. While I was recording the clips you just saw, Mojang released a new update that brings the Armadillo and new wolf variations, but I'll still be ranking these as part of the 1.21 update. Mojang also released some of the more of the 1.21 features to the experiments here on Bedrock, so that's why some of the item frames have changed. But anyway, now we're going to look at a slightly better mob than the Breeze, the Bogged. The Bogged looks really good and definitely adds a challenge to the Swamp and Trial Chambers. They're a really balanced mob to fight as they shoot poison arrows but have lower health and attack speed than a normal skeleton. I hope they add more biome dependent variations of mobs in the future, but I think the Bogged belongs in B tier. Coming in with another S tier feature, we of course have the Mace. We finally have a new weapon in the game, and this thing is amazing. The smash attack is really fun, especially when combined with the wind charges, though it might need a limit on the amount of damage it can do in a single smash attack, because right now you can one hit any mob, including the warden, and survive if you fall from high enough. But aside from that, I still think it deserves to be in S tier. With the Mace comes 3 new enchantments. The Breach, Density and Wind Charge enchantments are really balanced and just what we need to enhance the Mace's abilities. These are going to go in the A tier. Next we have the brand new potion effects, Infested, Oozing, Weaving and Wind Charged. Overall these don't add much to the game and are quite easy to counter in the Ominous Trials. I feel like these are something that could be quite easily made with commands or add-ons, so I'm going to put them in the D tier. The third new mob to be added in 1.21 is the Armadillo, which won the mob vote at Minecraft Live. I really like their design and it's funny to see them roll up when you sprint past them. Their scoots can be crafted into wolf armor, but I think these are really easy to obtain as you can brush them as many times as you want. I think it should be similar to breeding where there's a cooldown to stop you brushing the Armadillo too many times and getting a ton of scoots. But overall the Armadillo is going to go in the A tier. We have yet another S tier feature as next up is the wolf armor. We've been asking for this for a while and it's finally coming to the game. These look really cool on your wolves and block all damage to them until the armor breaks, helping your dogs to stay alive a little bit longer. It can even be dyed so you can customize it however you like. This is definitely an S tier feature. And speaking of wolves, we have 8 new variants coming in the next update. These all look amazing, and because each type can only spawn in a certain biome, it's encouraging players to explore the world and collect all the variants. This is another S tier feature that we've wanted for years. I'm going to talk about the next 3 features together as they are all very similar. The new armor trim, banner pan and pottery shirt designs all look pretty good. Overall I think they're cool collectibles and I hope Mojang adds more designs with each major update like they have in this one. I'm going to put all 3 of these features in C tier. Next we have some amazing new paintings. They all look really good and are a little less pixelated than the original ones. It'd be really nice to see even more paintings in the future, but anyway, these are going in the B tier. Now we're going to take a look at some of the reworks for previous features. The new bad omen mechanics in the form of the ominous events are really good. The ominous bottle allows you to choose if you want to start a raid or ominous trial, but overall the mechanic doesn't really change the game. However, it massively affects raid farms, which in my opinion is a good change as it helps keep the game a bit more balanced. I think this belongs in the C tier. The other rework we have is the villager trade rebalancing. This was controversial when it was first announced, but I think it is a much needed change. The biome-dependent librarian trades encourages exploration similar to the new wolf types. The addition of having to trade diamonds along with emeralds to the blacksmith villagers for diamond gear is a good balance change and makes it a little less overpowered. The introduction of more maps offered by the cartographer villager is really good and you can even get trial chamber maps to help you find a new structure. Overall, I think this rework should go in the B tier. The final 2 features are parity features coming to Bedrock Edition only. Hardcore mode is being added and is a much needed addition to Bedrock. It's annoying it's only being added now as I have a 1000 day survival world that I haven't died in yet. I might do a hardcore let's play series in the future, so stay tuned for that, and overall it's going in the S tier. The final feature for this video is the introduction of 100% item drops for TNT. This is a really good parity change and allows us to create better tree farms and concrete converters here on Bedrock. This is pretty balanced on Bedrock as we don't have TNT duplication, so I think this feature belongs in the A tier. So here is our finished tier list of every feature coming in Minecraft 1.21. Overall I think 1.21 is a really good update and I'm really looking forward to finally being able to properly play it when it releases. Let me know what you think of my rankings in the comments, leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe so you don't miss my future videos covering the 1.21 update. But anyway guys, I'm OrangeNinja, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.